Hi, Orange Girl here with another scrapbooking process video for you. I am doing the Take 5 challenge over in the Paper Issues Friends and Fans Facebook group. They have tons of challenges every week or every month, and that's the one I'm participating in here. So part of the Take 5 challenge is to use two photos. And I am using these two photos that were taken of my daughter and I on World Kindness Day. I am also using the Heart Multiplied cut file. I've cut it out in white cardstock already. The other thing that I did is I already cut out some hearts. When you get this cut file with it, are some hearts that are single that perfectly match the cut file so that it makes it very easy to back the cut file if that's something that you're going to do. At this point, I was thinking that I might back some of the hearts, leave some of them empty. I also thought I might put some of the hearts on top. So I have used two different 6x8 papers from the Unforgettable collection by Coco Vanilla Studios. And I love this collection. The background that you see there, all the papers, I think everything that I'm using, unless I say otherwise, is coming from that collection. So now that I've cut out a few different hearts and things, and I am just going to go through the ephemera here and kind of see what kinds of things I want to maybe add to the page besides just backing the cut file. Now, when you back the cut file and you're using pattern papers, that sometimes is almost enough because there's just so much going on the page. It helps to use the 6x8 pads, I feel like, because the pattern in them is so small that it helps make it look less busy, and then you can use multiple pieces and multiple patterns, and it doesn't make your layout look too busy, in my opinion. So I almost always get those 6x6 or 6x8 pads depending on what the collection comes with because I love backing um, files with them. I love using them for mini books. I love using them for layers behind my photo, stuff like that. So anyway, so all I'm doing here is I'm using my Nuvo glue here to put a little bit of glue and back some of the hearts, but not all of the hearts. I keep kind of coming back, adding my photos to the page just to see the placements and then figuring out where I might need some more hearts and then going back in and putting them in. So when I did, you might have seen a little earlier, I had a little hissy fit because when I put my hearts in the Silhouette Studio software to cut the hearts that I'm going to back everything with, I kind of flipped them, so some are upside down and some are right side up, and just to save some space and get some more out of a 6x8 pad. And in doing so, I didn't think about the fact that that some of these have text on them, so now some of my hearts, the text is upside down. I end up using some of those anyway, but all of the ones that I use to back my file here are right side up. Okay, so now I feel like most of the hearts that I'm going to back are already backed, and then I am just kind of messing around with some of the embellishments here. I have a bunch of hearts still left, so I was thinking at this point that I would do like 3 clusters of flowers, and so I was trying to get like a pink, an orange, and kind of that green color all together. And then I love the leaves in this because they're like a gray and it's just different and I just like it. So this whole collection is unbelievably beautiful, and all of the things that I've seen about the new Coco Vanilla collection that's coming out, it's also unbelievably beautiful. I love working with their products. So anyway, fast forward here a little bit. Well, I didn't really fast forward. I just walked away and now I'm back. And I went ahead and I cut out some bright pink. I wanted to add some more pink to the page. So I went ahead and cut out some pink hearts, and I'm going to use some pink hearts on this page. And then I decided to use what was left of that. You can see that that's the 6x8 paper that I cut the hearts out of. I'm going to use that paper to go ahead and back both of my photos with, so that it adds another big pop of pink. Because when I first put the pink hearts on there, I was like, ooh, that might be too much, even though there's pink and there's orange. and there's green in those hearts pulling out that pink, I thought, that might be too much. So now I hadn't completely decided on what I wanted to do to back my photos and make some layers, or to use as a background. I toyed with the idea of using a white background, that that kind of pink ombre, pink to orange ombre page. But I end up settling on this green. I really liked the green from the start, and so um, when I was picking out my papers to back the file, I kind of had that green background as a thought. So now I decided, after messing around a little bit, that I wanted a few more of those hearts to be backed. So I'm just going to add a few more. And I just go back and forth and just add the photos, take them off, add the photos, take them off. I do that when I do mixed media too, to just make sure I have enough on there, but not too much. So I'm trying to spread out the ones with the floral pattern, the hearts with the floral pattern, and the hearts with the text. I'm just kind of trying to spread them across the page so that, you know, I don't mind if there's some two next to each other, but maybe not the same kind, that kind of thing. So just kind of make it look a little bit random. Okay, so as I'm working here, I'm also thinking about how am I going to use those pink hearts. And remember, I said in the beginning that I was thinking that I might put some of the hearts on top. I wanted to add some dimension to it. And so you can see there on my left that I folded that pink heart in the middle. So at this point, I'm like, oh, maybe I could do that. Then I put two of the hearts together, cut some more hearts with a green and white stripe pattern, and now I'm going to use all four of those patterns to layer some hearts. So I'm going to use the text, the pink, the floral, and the green stripe, and kind of put them together, fold up the one that's on top, and make, I don't know, have add some dimension to some of those. So as I decided right here to go ahead and glue stuff down, because I was thinking I was going to add some stitching. So what I wanted to do was I think I've already stitched the hearts that I'm working with here straight down the center. So I just stitched them straight down the center so it was easier to lift them up around the edges. And now I'm adding foam adhesive to the back. Actually, I think it's pop dots. So then I stuck down my heart backgrounds, and I zipped with my sewing machine down the center of all of the hearts that have a pattern paper on them. So I don't know if I show you a close-up of that. I don't think I do, but you will see it at the end in the close-ups of the final project. So I'm really digging this now, and I love adding that dimension in there. And then I toyed with the idea of not putting the flowers on, because I was thinking maybe there was too much going on with the flowers. I popped the top photo up, and that's the one of us looking straight at the camera. And then below the photo, we're kind of hugging and kissing in the eye of the word kind, which this was at school. We happen to be in the same building. This is our last year in the same building, because she'll move to a different building next year. But so it's kind of nice. So like this happened before school started. We had put up K and D with the idea that we would have the kids be the I in kind. And so that was the idea of the photos. Anyway, so I do journal about that at some point here too. So I went ahead, black is one of the things for the Take 5 challenge. And so I thought I would use black alphas, which go really, really well with the photos because there's a lot of black or dark in the photos. Kind is written in black. The floor looks like it's black in these photos. It's really more of a navy blue. I did some journaling off camera, and I've made journal strips to go underneath my title. So yeah. So I've decided to go ahead and start gluing everything down. I'm adding some silver thread. One of the things that was on the Take 5 challenge was silver. And so I used silver thread, and I really liked the addition of the silver thread. I may have not have chosen that had that not been one of the criteria. Um, but I like the way it turned out. I really like the way that it turned out, especially with the leaves that are gray and then the silver. It just goes really well. So okay, so what else am I doing? Oh, I did add a little bit of pink thread here behind one of my butterflies. I'm going to put some butterflies on here, at least one, which I do every time I have a picture of my daughter. And then here I am going through and kind of checking off what I ended up using. So what I did end up using was 2 photos, silver. I'm going to add some sequins here. That's what I'm doing now. Black. And then at the end I add some enamel dots. So in addition to these flowers that I'm adding in a couple of the hearts, like 3 of the hearts, I add 3 little hearts that were in the ephemera pack. And I put those are that same pink color. So I like how the pinks, are kind of popping out now. And then I'm adding some pink enamel dots to add a little bit more pop. So yeah, so I really like how this one turned out. This is a great collection to work with. It was really awesome to work with. I still have it on my desk. I have a couple more layouts that I think I want to make with it. So um, you'll see those coming up. Here, you know me, I have to rip something. So I'm ripping the top. When I glued it down, I glued this down so it was down a little bit towards the bottom. So I would have a spot up at the top that I could do a little ripping, and I'm adding a little bit more pink there to just kind of add to the whole pops of pink. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to. I'll have my hand there. So here is the, missed that editing. Here is a close-up. You can kind of see where I've used some stitching, added some thread, and I really like how this worked out. If you want anything in the paper issue store, use the code OrangeGirl and you will save 20% on everything. Lots of free files to look at and download and use on whatever machine you use. Thanks a lot for stopping by, and I will see you again soon.